What's up everybody, and thank you for joining me for another video. My name is Whack4863, but you can call me Whack. In today's video, I'm going to go through healing for both thralls and pets, and I'm going to have to do this between my online server and my solo server in order to show you exactly what's going on when you're feeding your thralls. And it works the same across online and solo. However, the UI online is totally broken, guys. The information that it is feeding you online, whether it's healing for yourself or healing for your thrall, is currently not working properly. And I'll show you an example of that with my own character. So if I eat the cooked pork feast, what I should be getting is 15 points of healing every 3 seconds. So watch the health bar, but I also want to point out the UI is actually going to show you that I'm only getting 2 points of healing every second. So if I pop that up, 2 points of healing every 3 seconds, but as you can see, it's 15 points every 3 seconds. So it went 31, 46, 61. Obviously, you can see that I'm getting 15 points of healing every 3 seconds, but the UI is saying something totally different. And that's happening on your thralls as well. So if I go over to this guy right here, he's got the cooked pork rinds, and the reason why I have him in the Sobek gear is so that I can initiate healing. So his health points drop down, I can then put it back on, and he has to start healing. You saw he ate 1 pork there. Now if I open up his stats page, what it's going to tell you is that he's getting 5 points of healing every second. However, I want you to watch his health bar here. He's obviously not getting 5 points every second. What he's actually getting is his passive health regeneration of 2 points every second, plus an additional 1 point every second from the food that I fed him. Now I'm going to jump all the way down the line to this guy. This guy has the exotic feast. Now the cooked pork rinds should show up right here in the diet. The exotic feast shows up right here in the diet. The diet online is not working. However, if you load up your solo game, look at a thrall's diet, and then load up an online game, the diet should populate there. But we're going to do the same thing with this guy. We're going to remove his helmet, and then we're going to put it back on. And we'll look at his stats. Now he gets a 10% bonus in damage from that meal and 5 points of healing every second. However, it's not. Look how much. It's 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Every second he's getting 10 points of healing from that meal. So basically, you can't trust the UI right now when you're looking at it online. You have to look at it on your solo game in order to see what's actually happening with both yourself and your thralls. If you're new here, I'd encourage you to click that subscribe button, click that bell so you get notified when I upload another video. I'm in my solo game. I've loaded it up. Yes, I share a save between my solo and my online server. That way I can test the exact same thing on 2 different styles of the game. So let's run over to this guy here. Now he's got the cooked pork rinds on him. And what I'm going to do, take that off and put that back on. Now if I go into his stats, you can see it's actually displaying properly. 25% damage increase, and he's gaining 1 point of healing every second. Now, an easy way to tell that I am on my solo game is these are actually all populated on here. And the way that you read these is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I've got each one of these Tamos set up with different foods. So if we go to, say, this one, this is going to be spot number 5. So if we look at what spot number 5 does, we could just open his inventory, we lower his health, and then we go to his stats. You can see 10% increase and 4 points of healing every second. So let's look. Yeah, looks like 4 points every second. Now you remember this guy down here, he was doing 10 points of healing every second. Let's go ahead and do the same thing with him, and we'll give that back. And then if we open his stats, you can see 10 points of healing every second. If you're enjoying this content, go ahead and show your support by whacking that like button. Now, something that was commonplace before but is actually going to break your thrall now is if you give them pork first. So this guy currently has nothing, right? Let's look at his stats. He's got nothing going on. Okay, so if I give him a single piece of pork, we're actually just going to give him one, and should actually be gone. That's a visual bug. Let's look back in there. So it is gone, and if we do this, he's got the 25% increased damage. Now, if I force him to be in a state where he has to heal, just do like that, and he is healing. If I give him gruel and I go back into his stats, you will see no additional healing happening here and only the passive health regen happening here. Once you put a food in there that gives them a damage increase, they have to continue with that food. He absolutely will not gain any health regen from the gruel that's currently in his inventory, unless you go in and you force it. So if I go in here to the gruel and I click use, and then I come back out and I look at his stats, what he actually gets is the sated buff. So he's right now getting an additional 1 point every 3 seconds from the sated buff. Now you can also do this with foods that are not in their diet list. So if I give him the cooked pork feast and I force him to use it here, and then I come out and I look at his stats, he's actually getting 15 points every 3 seconds. And if you watch, you'll see that bounce. There it was once, there it is again right there, and one more time, boom, there it is again. Okay, so we know that those things work. However, if he takes damage while he's sated, it's going to go away. So you're going to want to do that only when you're out of combat. And I will tell you, be careful when doing this with pets, because there are foods that you can give pets that will make them sick. Additionally, you could do this with things that are actually in their diet. So if I look at his stats right now, here he is, he's getting 1 point per second from the haunch. If I go back into his inventory and I force him to eat one when he's not ready, he's actually going to get that sated buff again. So there's a few ways that you can add more points to your thrall's health. Just remember that the sated buff lasts for 2 minutes on your thrall, but if they take any damage, it cancels out that buff. Now the same thing goes for all the pets, and what I'm going to show you is just this infographic right here. So basically, whatever's in the first spot of their diet is going to give them 25% damage increase and 1 point of healing every second. The second spot, reading across the top line, will give them 10% damage and 1 point of healing. And actually, all of the foods are going to give them a 10% damage increase. Spot number 3 gives them 2 points of healing. Spot number 4 gives them 3 points. Spot number 5 gives them 4 points. Spot number 6 is 6 points, 7 points, 8 points, 9 points, and so on to 10 points. So you really have to decide, do you want the additional damage or do you want the additional healing? And that's all I have for this video, but the fun doesn't have to stop here. You can click one of the other videos coming up on the screen to watch next. I hope you've enjoyed this video as much as I've enjoyed making it. I'll catch you next time. Peace. I'd like to give a big shout out to all my YouTube members. Y'all are absolute legends. If you'd like to become a legend, there's a button below that says join. That'll give you all the details. I'd like to thank all my subscribers for their continued support, likes, comments, and general awesomeness. If you're not subscribed, you can start your free trial today and cancel at any time. Clicking the bell is highly recommended so you get notified when I upload another video.